Yeah, it looked like he used to rest in that. So there's a series of telephone poles. There's a downed one right there. And just over this ridge, there's some that are still standing. So they ran electricity all the way up here to where we're going, where the mines are. Got this stone wall here below this cabins, and then we got a couple more up there on the hillside. They build their own foundations out here because of how steep everything is. These cabins still look like they're in pretty good shape. And this would have been it. Just one room. You got a collapsed cabin up there. We got a couple more we're gonna check out. Small wretched mattress out here. This one's a little bit more roomier. There's some, looks like roofing material on the floor. It's yet another cabin, and that's where they processed all the stuff that they mined. And that's out in the canyon the way we came in. This one has the door knocked down. Another chimney for the stove. There's another collapsed cabin. Got a little stone house down that way, and ore bin in the mine up there. You can see the chute there by itself, stuck into the waste rock pile. You can see more of that stone wall foundation that they had to put before putting this structure in. Went up here past this, more of this waste rock. See another telephone pole up there. There's another little stone cabin over here. Just looks like a little storage area. It's got a wood door frame, and the rest is made out of stone right into the ground. We got the rails, a tree growing on it, but the rails are when you know you found the mine, which is right back there. Made our way in past this sketchy entrance. Got a lot of rock pile up here, but once you get in about 20 feet, you can see the end of the rails. And the mine looks great from there. Going over a little collapse here. Got a broken alcohol bottle here, or I'm assuming it was alcohol. And then just a little alcove, just kind of dug down a bit. It looks like it could have maybe been a winzes, and now it's plugged. There's a sign that says none water. Little face right there, one of the miners drew. There's a lot of minerals on this wall. It's like white, it looks like cotton almost. You got a vein here, and you got a big vein arch right here in the tunnel. This is how they change the direction. Just switch the tracks by hand. In the wall, they have all these little holes where they explored little quartz pockets, a lot of little dugout spots. Up in the ceiling, and it looks like that one's plugged. And we're continuing down the main tunnel. We skipped the left branch for now. We're going to come back to it. And this is a little alcove going straight. There's a ladder. This is the first time the actual main tunnel curves to the right. Can barely see the entrance way down there, that tiny speck of light in the middle of the black. We're about 100 feet down that right curve. Got another little alcove. Looks like it might be a dugout right here too. No.
I'll go check this real quick.
There is some rail in there and some tubing. Might just be a prospect.
Kinda looks like it goes somewhere actually.
So the tracks end here again. We're still in that main tunnel. We've skipped a left and a right branch so far. And it looks like we're coming up here on a big ore chute. Got a piece of explosive crate right here. And here is a very wide ore chute. And there's a huge stope up there behind it. You probably can't see it on the camera, but and someone believed in elves, because here's a picture of an elf right here and another face behind it. It came through here, and this is most likely leads back to the right intersection that we saw, because we're only about 200 feet from there.
On the right.
We got another
This one has rails.
tunnel in here. Here's how much airflow is in this mine. You can see this blowing. So we're just in that right tunnel. And we have a room, a very busy room right here. Got artifacts and that is a vertical shaft going down. Another little prospect in there. There's some artifacts left by the miners. It's an old root beer can, which is pretty cool because I like root beer too, a lot. If you've ever been with me in a drive-thru, you know I get that root beer no ice. Got some bottles hanging on the wall here. They nailed these tins to the wall. It says valve chest screws. This wooden floor, little workbench over there with some more artifacts on it. Looks like there's a tunnel actually behind it, but they kind of plugged it with timbers and stuff. We'll have to check that out. Can of spilled oil there. There's that vertical shaft. Gonna stay away from that. That's also part of it. These wood rails are what the cart would have come up on. And it would have been brought up there to those upper workings up there. And then there's an ore chute right here. So it's kind of like it comes up and then goes backwards and then dumps out right there. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, there's 2 ore chutes back here. And a third one. So you can see some really extended workings up there. Another tunnel continues. I'm gonna drop a rock down this winze. Here we go. Yeah, that's hundreds of feet down, this winze. You could hear it rumbling forever. So yeah, this vertical shaft is way too extensive to be explored without ropes. So we're not gonna touch it. Got a shell oil box. Yeah, it looks like back here there isn't really anything, just a lot of timbers are underneath that ore chute now. It's pretty incredible. There's that deep of a winze, and then up here there's one going up. There's a lot of wood and timber up here too. This would have been a lot of work to do back then. Imagine getting all these beams and boards into place. It's insane. This doesn't look like a false floor, it's just some boards they put on there. Got a burner plate. That one's poison, next to some bourbon whiskey, 2 batteries, Maxwell House coffee, and Campbell's creamy chicken soup. This is a really nice section of the mine. There's a lot going on in this room. So looking over the edge of this winze, you can see the platforms down there. And just like the one that goes up, just imagining how much work it would be to get all this wood down in here and put it into place, and for hundreds of feet up and down. It's massive amounts of work and effort went into making this, and now it just sits here underground, forgotten about. So we're just down from that room. There's that last huge ore chute, and we got one more. You can see the little steps. And timbers. Tracks curve back to, I believe that's the main tunnel. But then there is yet another ore chute. And yet another and another. So they probably have a really long extended stope above this whole area.
There is a absolutely enormous stope. Wow.
You can see it?
Oh yeah, dude.
So we come out of this tunnel's been the same height pretty much the whole time. Coming past this is probably the 7th ore chute we've seen. The tunnel we were just coming through, that one, which is a branch off the main tunnel. All those ore chutes in the room we were just in, they're hauling out ore from somewhere above where they come out, like right there. And now we can see where that is, which is this enormous stope that goes up hundreds of feet. I can't even see the top. So you can, yeah, this goes, I can see maybe about 80 feet, but that might not even be the top of it. And you can see some more platforms up there. There's probably a tunnel up there somewhere. Graham's got the reading of the height of the stope with his frickin' laser beams.
The reading's in.
And
128 feet.
128 feet.
Don't want to fall up that.
Yeah, so this pile we're standing on, you can see the timbers here. So this stope is above that tunnel the whole time. It just happened to collapse right here. So that's why we're able to see up there. And you can see there's more. There would be like a floor right here that's on top of all these. So we're still on the side tunnel, technically. So right now we're under that huge stope. And it's all, these ore chutes all have timbers, so you can't see, but see this vein right here, the vein would have extended all the way up to where that stope was. Just past that death trap. Some alcove parts, broken ladder pieces. Nothing really over there. A little ore chute here. Another one. This looks like they piled a bunch of boulders up here for some reason. Way up there. This is about the 12th ore chute in this mine you've seen so far. That's the vein that this whole stope exists because of. There's some modern spray paint. So it looks like this has been surveyed recently. Because there's quite a bit of it left, it looks like. Really old pack of cigarettes. Another collapse. You can see that same vein is a couple feet wide. It's pretty massive. It's actually it's about this whole tunnel's width. There's another winze looking down. And there's probably some boards underneath that rubble, but I can't see the boards, I can't see their integrity, so we're going to turn around here. It kind of looks like the tunnel just dead ends back there, I'm not sure. I don't know, it looks, maybe it curves around some more, but yeah. Gotta throw some rock down here, see how deep it goes. That's right where that massive stope is. And we're taking this branch back, because this branch actually is the main tunnel itself. For a while there we were on the right branch. So we're gonna head back this way. And this intersects twice with the tunnel that we were just in, with the stope above it. Some debris. Broken matches, there's some of the rails. That's part of the tunnel that we were just in, just past the room with all the artifacts and the winzes. Some more artifacts, and that's actually the back of the workbench with all the soup and poison and batteries on it. So this is what you can see behind it. It just looks out to the main tunnel. And if we keep going, we'll come back to the original fork where we were, where we left the main tunnel. So we're back here at this little right branch, the first right branch off the main tunnel. And we believe that this just meets right back up with the main tunnel, with another intersection we just passed. But then again,
where are we?
We could be wrong. So
is this a chute down there?
this looks like the beginning of that stope.
Yeah.
Second one over there. Doesn't go down very far, about 20 feet. But you can see some ladders over there. It looks like there's more of a tunnel going that way, but there's no way for us to get over there.
end. That's fucking... That's the other side of that stope.
Oh, okay. So it does connect.
Yep.
So there's a backfill. Probably went a little bit further than that. Got ore cart tracks right here.
Over there, the other side of that stope.
There's an aged newspaper. That's the cool thing about this mine that we've seen so far is you kind of think that something goes a certain way and then it ends up not. That's cool. That looks like they maybe had a spring coming out of here or something. Because that's not just a drill hole for dynamite, that's bored through and there's a little trough coming off, so.
That's about it for this one.
Yeah, there's ore chute. This is probably the 15th ore chute or so that we've seen in this mine. There's a sawhorse. There's that ladder. And just beyond is where we were on the other tunnel. So this does actually connect. Like we thought it did. It just, you have to pass through this stope for it to connect. So there's no way we're going through there. Other than that, we just have another side tunnel going to the left to check out, but we've pretty much covered this mine. So we're back on the main stretch. Come around that corner. There's still that one left side passage that we're going to check out, and after that, we are out of this mine.
Let's see what's down here.
We just started going down that left branching tunnel. It's more or less so far the same as the main tunnel.
Everything above me is completely timbered. You can tell because the echo has gone away.
That one's cracked.
Entire area's timbered. I'm guessing there's a stove.
There's that crack.
But the main tunnel goes that way. So we'll follow it.
We're just past that ore chute section. Got two alcoves on either side here. That says treat the all-purpose meat. And we found a Spam can in the WWII's room, so this sounds like it must have been something similar to Spam. Maybe they changed their name to Spam at some point. Got a bag here, it says Portland, San Francisco. Can't tell what else it says. It's a little stope right here. You can see the vein really pronounced. It's pretty much the width of this tunnel. It's a massive vein. Someone fashioned a cross out of ore carts, rails. There's two more alcoves. And it's going to turn up here to the left. We got a vertical shaft here on the right. Yeah, that's not something that we want to get any closer to. Atlas explosives. It's a dynamite box. There's another vertical shaft. Yeah. Yeah, so that's much like the same that we saw in the other room. Looks like it was the same, but the tracks here are gone. You can see where the tracks would have connected up there and then went back down through the ore chute. Lucky Strike cigarette pack. And this is all to this room pretty much. Really old book page right there. And then that is a parts of an explosives crate. Here's more looking down that vertical shaft. This is the big one where the ore used to be pulled up, and then we have another one that's probably connected to this, or maybe ran parallel at some point. And that's the chute where they would have dumped all the ore from down there. Comes up and around through here onto the cart and out. It's another. Definitely seen over 20 ore chutes in this mine. Well over 20, I would say. That beam's also cracked, so in the not too distant future these will probably come down and they'll probably block this tunnel from being explored. Just past another branch. We're still sticking to this. Got another right branching tunnel over here.
And then the main primary tunnel with the rails goes off this way.
This is the third intersection we've seen on this. But we're going to continue where the tracks go and check everything else out on the way back. It's another one of those track switchers.
Stope. Pretty far out.
This giant stope room looks really similar to the ones that we already explored. It goes way up there. This looks like a dead end back here. Yeah, this just dead ends. So we're gonna go back the other way. A lot of intersections to check out on this left main tunnel. That's a really warped timber right there. And some more artifacts. Another ore chute.
This one's a bit dangerous.
Another twin ore chutes and another winzes. Another endless vertical shaft. And it looks like it just ends back there. So it looks pretty sketchy to get around this. But this looks like it goes further up too. There's probably another adit up there. You have a roller here with grease on it. These tracks are greased, these wooden tracks. It would haul ore up from wherever that one goes. That's the dead end. Now we are in that stope, which looks really similar to the room we were in earlier. On this one we can see the top, more or less. Looks like there's some tunnels that go even further, but the vein is about as wide as the whole stope. There's another little tunnel going that way. I think that's about 9 branches in total. So this is a little room in that stope. Another page of a book. Looks like it keeps going for a while. This might end up back at the main tunnel. This Looks like this might go around the stope and come back up to the main tunnel. I'm not sure yet. Another alcove over there. Looks like there was ore cart tracks here at one point. And yeah, here we are back at the main tunnel. So this would have been the first intersection that we saw. And that's back towards the main tunnel. Last branch that we have to take, apparently called the Noble Crosscut. Another explosive box. And we just took a loop off the stope, which the stope itself was a loop. So there was 2 loops going back to the main left tunnel. And so apart from the dead ends, this would be the last one. Nobility itself. So it looks like they were pretty into the naming of this crosscut tunnel. It's called the Noble Crosscut. More pages from that book, or magazine, or whatever it was. Another explosive box. Little alcove here. And there's the left branch, and this continues forward. So right down there, it actually dead ends. And we're going to be taking that way. This is a first branch off of the tunnel that was labeled Noble Crosscut. So we're here at this false floor. Graham's already on a cross. Said it only goes down about 30 feet. So we're going to cross over. Yeah, you can see the bottom there. And it goes up a little bit. It's just a little bit of a stope. So made it to the other side of that, and the tunnel continues on after that. There's impressions where the ties used to be, so at one point the rails went over that. Another alcove. And Graham's up ahead. And looks like the tunnel just dead ends about 100 feet or so after that. Got some more graffiti written in grease here. 1961. And so on. So we're gonna head back across. And we saw no more branches because we're on the left main tunnel now from that first intersection, and we've taken all the intersections. So aside from that last winze that we didn't cross, we've completed this mine. So we're gonna head on out now. Alright, so we're back at the main intersection of the left and right branch. So that left tunnel ended up being pretty extensive. Back here at the entrance, it's all sunny outside. Forgot what daylight looks like. You just gotta get past this. So that's the road we came down. We went back up one of the other forks, and we saw what looked like it could be a mine, and you can see the ore bin that we were just at up there, and this is another haulage tunnel. It looks more like a cave, but you can see all the massive rocks that they blasted out.